That's right. Here we go. Episode 69 of the Hardline Sports Talk. I'm Michael Merlo. I've got John Michael Messeri with me. JM, how are you tonight?
Murph, it's episode 69. I'm doing fantastic. And it kind of fits with the first topic we're going to talk about.
Oh, 100%. I mean, big time.
Yeah. I'm sure
Big
Zach
time.
Wilson's familiar with that number recently. So
yes,
I'm doing good, though.
We've got a lot to discuss. We're going to talk a little football to start off. You know, it's the middle of the summer. Yeah, we're excited with baseball, but we're inching closer to that football season. We're all very excited. So we are going to start there. And yes, this Zach Wilson story is very, very interesting. So I think everybody's basically heard it by now that, you know, there's a report, there's a rumor. I shouldn't even say report. It's not a report. It's a rumor from his ex-girlfriend that he was sleeping around with his mom's best friend. Now that's your quarterback. Well, let's start off. How do you feel about your quarterback getting around with a cougar?
I think I've never been more proud in my life. I mean, he's fulfilling every young man's dream. That's all he's doing.
That's exactly what he's doing. And you know, I don't even know what to call it. I guess the media coverage, the attention this is getting from everybody around the league, around the sports world. Even, you know, this isn't a sports story either. This is, you know, a topical story that, you know, maybe other people would know about that don't follow sports. The Jets are getting good media coverage here, in my opinion.
The Jets are like a national story for the first time in a while. Like they are dominating. The past 2 days, the Jets have dominated the NFL news.
It's not bad news. Like, that's the thing. And this is the first time in a very long time outside of like the draft, which sometimes really isn't national news like this is, the coverage that this is getting. This is good news. And his teammates must love it. I mean, they've been joking around. This is unbelievable. I think this is one of the best things that happened this offseason to the Jets. Their quarterback gained the respect of not only everybody in his locker room, but everybody in the league.
First of all, the opposite, the way this story has gone compared to what his ex-girlfriend thought it was going to go is hilarious. You know, somebody called her a homie hopper on Instagram, which, I mean, come on, kind of true. Not kind of, it is true. I mean, best friends, you're dating your best friend is dating your ex. Like, come on. And she just came back at the guy in the comments and said, oh, he was sleeping around with his mom's best friend. He's the real homie hopper or whatever. And she she really thought everybody was going to read that and be like, oh my God, Zach Wilson is a horrible person. Why would he do that? But no, of course, it's the opposite. He just got more praise and made it even better. So shout out my boy. He's got to be good now. There's no way he's going to be a bad player.
Either way, I got respect for him. But yeah, you're probably right. How are you not a good player after all of this? How do you not turn out to be the Jets' next franchise quarterback?
The Riz master, the MILF hunter, Zach Wilson.
He's got it. Unspoken at this point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The other thing, these Jet quarterbacks. When we go back to Joe Namath, you know, we know Joe Namath was getting around. Yeah. Sanchez was getting around. Darnold's getting the mono. Come on, these Jet quarterbacks, they know what they're doing.
They do. But no, Darnold, that was the opposite. That was a super like embarrassing story. The fact that he got mono and like there was that girl faked. It turned out to be fake. The girl said she saw him in the bar and they made out or whatever. But the Zach Wilson stuff. First, you see his new girlfriend too.
This is his new girlfriend?
Yeah. I mean, they're a thing.
I gotta say it.
She's
his old girlfriend.
No, this one's better looking. This one's better looking. I'm telling you. They're both beautiful, but this one, she's got the edge.
The first one was good looking. And by the way, we're forgetting something, and I'm sure we touched on this when he was drafted, but his mom is smoking hot.
Yeah, she's a lunatic though. That's the only.
Oh, she is. Have you seen her on social media?
Yes.
Zach actually had to tell her to like chill out.
Yeah. Pat Mahomes should take some notes.
Who?
Pat Mahomes should take notes from Zach Wilson.
Yeah, really. Except it's, you know, his mom and not His girlfriend, but yes.
Oh.
I can't find a picture of the current girlfriend.
She's like a TikTok superstar. I saw her a picture like 12 times.
Whenever I type in Zach Wilson girlfriend, it's the older girl, which she's hot. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find the other girlfriend later on. But this is an absolutely unbelievable story for the New York Jets. And there's this guy from Barstool that's been like really sniffing around. Like,
oh, I see that guy. Yeah.
And he's, whatever. He's
a little
funny.
Too much at this point, though.
Right. And he says from his gatherings, I don't know how true this is. I don't know how reliable this guy is, but he says that it wasn't like his mom's best friend, but it was a mom in the area that's single and a little younger, but knows Zach's mom that he was actually sleeping around with.
So, like, how Zach Wilson went to BYU and like he's a Mormon. I don't know if he actually is a Mormon or the family. I don't know if he just went to a Mormon school, but like, it doesn't really seem like he's complying with the Mormon rules right now.
No, he's not. He's not doing a great job with that.
Which he's good. I want my quarterback testing the waters, if you know what I mean.
He's a dog. He's
a dog. He's got the dog in him. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for a pansy as a quarterback. We're looking for a dog, and he's got that. You got that dog in him.
Clearly have that in Zach Wilson. Clearly have that. Now, if you want to talk about real football, we got to see how he does on the field. Again, I'll respect him for the rest of my life, no matter what happens. But he's got to. This is a big year for him. He's got to impress. So we'll see what happens on the football field. But just
City
one more time.
Yeah.
A round of applause for Zach. I mean, unbelievable job.
City boys on top.
Unbelievable job. And speaking of quarterbacks, another quarterback that, he's in the news and we always see him on commercials. Baker Mayfield has finally been traded from Cleveland and he's now a Panther. Did you see his news conference today?
I did not. No, I don't pay attention too much to Panthers press conferences.
Yeah, neither do I, but I saw this come up and he was like, don't think the date hasn't been circled on my calendar because they play the Browns week 1.
Yeah.
I would hope it's circled on your calendar, Baker. It's week 1. You got to be at work that day. So that's number one.
It's a little creepy that like people haven't really talked about. Obviously, Jets traded Darnold away last year.
Right.
And then week 1, Panthers, Jets. This year, Browns trade away Baker to the Panthers. Week 1, Panthers, Browns. So I don't know if the Browns are just going to start trading for, quarterbacks that are going to face their former teams week 1, but it's kind of weird.
So you're saying like, let's say the Browns open up against the Giants next year. You think that maybe Did I say that wrong?
Panthers open against the Giants.
Panthers opening against the Giants.
Daniel Jones will be a Panther. Yeah.
They're trying to trade for Dan.
Yeah.
They want the inside scoop on their week 1 opponent. It's all about week 1 for the Carolina Panthers.
How many? First of all, they have 4 quarterbacks already, and like, I guess Darnold will be the second string, but then like, Davis Mills is gonna be a third stringer. Oh, it's a Davis Mills. What the hell is it? Matt Corral.
Matt Corral? No, it's what's his name?
Why did I say
PJ Walker?
No, Matt Corral though got drafted by the Panthers.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be 4.
Oh my god.
PJ Walker's still there.
He was gonna be a first round pick at one point.
I know. How crazy is that? So was the other kid, Malik Willis. So was he.
Yeah, true. You think they're just the Panthers are gonna keep taking 2018 quarterbacks? You think like Josh Rosen's next?
Yes, absolutely. They'll take a flyer. Maybe a couple of guys get hurt during the season. And we need a quarterback. Josh Rosen. It's perfect.
I will say, I do think that Baker is going to have like a better year than Darnold did. I think he's a better quarterback than Darnold is. But I don't. My brother asked me about this today. I said 22 touchdowns, 15 picks is like a realistic expectation for what he'll do.
Baker's listen. I was number 1 criticizing him. I did not like him. He had it made for him in Cleveland. A great offensive line, solid weapons, great running game, great defense. He had it made for him, and he couldn't win with that. So if he couldn't win with that, he wasn't going to win anywhere. But when you compare him to a guy like Sam Darnold, who, I mean, come on, he's done absolutely nothing. He's been awful. Mm-hmm. Baker's not awful. He's just not number one good. He's not talented enough, but he's not awful.
No, he's not terrible. I mean, and he's had a good year, and he's dealt with some injuries and stuff like that. He at least has some track record. He's made it to the playoffs, so we'll see.
And you know what's really funny? I feel like PJ Walker is one of those guys who just finds a way to start a game each year. I am 100% confident that PJ Walker will start a game for the Carolina Panthers this year.
Yeah,
no doubt about it. Matt Corral won't. Matt Corral, maybe, I don't even know if they're going to be able to dress him. Are they going to dress four quarterbacks? Probably
quarterbacks. Not. I don't think so. You really think they're going to keep PJ Walker and have Corral fourth string? They're not going to carry four. That's like unheard of nowadays.
I don't think they get. I mean, Walker's on the roster. No, is he? Am I crazy?
I think yeah, but I think he'll be gone. He'll be practice squad something.
PJ Walker always finds himself in the starting lineup.
Who's Hard Knocks this year?
Oh God, it's not a terrible team. I'm pretty sure it's not a terrible team.
Titans?
No, hold on. Let me get that out. Hard Knocks 2022. Detroit Lions.
Oh God, yeah, it's not a horrible team.
I thought it wasn't a horrible team. They're not horrible. Come on.
They had the second pick in the draft this year, Merlo. They're terrible.
This Dan Campbell is buying in more than I've ever seen a coach or even player buy into a franchise. This guy wants nothing more than to win with this franchise.
Well, he's got to know how to do it.
Did you see what he said the other day?
No.
He's like, if I could have a pet lion, I would have one.
What the hell is wrong with that guy?
There's something messed up with this guy in the head. And listen, he's a football coach. He's got to be a little messed up.
Yeah, you got to have something wrong with you.
Right. Or at least to be a good one, you have to have something wrong with you. But this guy's crazy. He's all for. I like him. I thought he was like too much, too corny. Like a shut up. You sound like an idiot. But I'm actually becoming a fan of his.
Right. I could see the Lions having a decently quick turnaround though, because they were like one of the worst. They were, we were talking about a 0-win season for them at one point last year, but it seemed like every game they were in it. They were just blowing late leads. Like they weren't getting absolutely blown out every game. So.
No, it really would not shock me. And it's funny that I didn't even remember that they had the second overall pick. But it is funny that they were in such close games all season long. You don't even realize it sometimes that they almost didn't have a win at one point last year. So, I think they are going to be a little better this year. And I actually like them to cover the spread week 1 against the Eagles. But that's way down.
Are you looking at
down the road.
Spreads? How do you even know what the spread is?
It's 4.5.
Oh my God. I thought you were just being like joking around, being like, oh, I don't know the spread yet, but I think they'll cover it. And you actually know the spread.
No, they're 4.5 point dogs at home against the Eagles. I like it. Bucket.
That spread is going to change 1,000 times.
It could. We'll see. But as
what
of
is
right
wrong
now,
with you? How did you even see that?
They're up. The lines have been up for like a month now. Yeah. I know guys that have placed bets already on week 1 right now. They have bets on week 1 right now.
That's great. Remember, guys, 1-800-HOPE-NY, 1-877-HOPE-NY if you have a gambling problem, please.
I'm not one of those guys yet. I might be close if I read.
Okay.
If Detroit stays at 4.5, that's good line. That's a good number.
Okay.
Anyway, well, enough of the Detroit Lions. So ESPN Plus came out with an article today, or was that yesterday, July 11th? Excuse me, July 11th. And they took, executives, they took coaches and players, and they wanted to rank the top 10 quarterbacks. And there's somebody left off the top 10 that we were talking about before we even started recording, which we both agree. I think we both agree that shouldn't have been left off the top 10. We're going to get to him in a minute. We're going to do something. But let's go through the top 10. Okay.
I didn't think about it too much because well, first of all, did you reveal the player?
The player is Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson was left off the top 10. I was going to tease it, who's left, but all right. So I'm going to give you the top 10. All right. Is that all right? I'll start with 10.
No, whoa. No, we're good. I can't rip off a top 10 list off the top of my head right now.
I'm gonna read you the list
Oh, okay. Yeah, read me the
of
list.
the executives, coaches,
Okay.
and players.
Sorry. Got it.
Don't yell. All right. So number 10, Dak Prescott. Do we agree? Dak, 10.
No, I don't agree. I think Lamar's better than Dak.
I
Why does
agree.
Dak? We give Dak Prescott a little too much respect. Like, I think he's a good guy and a good quarterback, but let's not act like this guy has accomplished anything.
He puts up good numbers, right? And he's won games. Don't get me wrong.
But it
He
seems
goes
like
to
he
the
always
playoffs.
underperforms in the playoffs.
Yes. But
And he's got
so is Lamar.
He's got all the weapons in the world. He's had one of the best offensive lines over the past 5 years. Like, no, Lamar is better.
Now, I believe that I agree with you. I think Lamar is better than Dak. I do think, though, when we go through this list, you may disagree, but I don't disagree. I think that's it. Like, I think Lamar, and I like Lamar. I've gained a lot of respect for Lamar. He's 10. Lamar's 10.
I don't think so. We'll keep going.
All right. So Deshaun Watson comes in at number 9.
I mean, yeah, when he's on the field, yes, but that probably won't be for a while.
But here's the thing. If Deshaun Watson's on the field, I think he's 5.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm saying I agree. Like, when he's on the field, sure. So I'll give it to him. But we also haven't seen the guy play in a year, 2 years, and probably won't see him play all year.
All right. Number 8, we've got Russell Wilson.
Yes, Russell Wilson's better than Lamar Jackson.
See, that's the one I thought you were going to disagree with. I thought you would have Lamar higher than Russell.
No, I was a little down on Wilson last year, but he's still a better quarterback than Jackson.
And I agree. I think Wilson here is fine at number 8. And people forget he's on the Denver Broncos now. So watch out for that. This one is the one that I think is outrageous right here. Okay. And I don't know how much value if it was the same amount of executives, players, and coaches when they did this poll, but this is the one I just cannot get a grip on. Justin Herbert, 7.
Wait, you're saying he's too low? He's too high? What's your problem?
I think he should be higher on this list.
Well, yeah, okay. I was gonna say I think he's definitely better than Lamar. But keep going through the rest of the list, and then who's ahead of him? Don't tell me Kyler Murray's on this list.
No, Kyler Murray is not on this list.
All right, because he's not a top 10 quarterback.
This is the one that gets me. And he's a top 10 quarterback. Matthew Stafford. He's a top 10 quarterback, but he ain't 6. He's not 6. Come on.
Yeah, it's Justin Herbert over Matt Stafford. But Matt Stafford and Lamar. The guy did just win the Super Bowl and throw like 40 touchdowns. I'll say Matt Stafford over Lamar.
I would say Stafford over Lamar.
Yeah.
Stafford over Herbert? No.
Herbert over Stafford.
Okay, I think Joe Burrow 5.
Why Joe Burrow 5? I'm putting Herbert over Joe Burrow.
Oh, I thought you were going to disagree with that.
No.
I thought we were going to argue about that.
And I love me
5.
I love me some Joe Shiesty, but Justin Herbert over Joe Burrow. Let's not get too caught. This is what we do in sports a lot. And this is what the media pushes. Yeah, Joe Burrow just went on a Super Bowl run. Really nice season. But no, let's not act like Justin Herbert it looks like, possibly the next freaking whatever, Aaron Rodgers on the football field right now. Like, he is unbelievable, Justin Herbert. And he single-handedly carried that team to possibly go into the playoffs. But his coach is an idiot, and the roster was just hurt and not great. The defense was abysmal. Justin Herbert's a stud.
So I would go Herbert 5, Burrow 6, and Stafford 7. I think you'd agree with that.
Why do I feel like there's somebody missing? Burrow and okay, and then the 4 is Brady, Rodgers, Allen, and Mahomes. Those are the 4 left.
Those are the 4 left.
Okay, so yeah, go back to the original point. Lamar's 10. Keep going.
Lamar would be 10.
I want to hear the rest of this list.
Okay, so Brady's 4.
Okay.
Josh Allen is 3.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes is 2.
Wow.
And Aaron Rodgers,
I actually
number 1.
strongly agree with that 4. That's exactly how I would put them. But I do think that will probably change. I think most likely at the end, it's not a hot take. Most likely at the end of the season, Allen's going to be the best quarterback in the league.
I agree.
He's ridiculous.
I think it'll be Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Rodgers, Brady.
I mean, we'll see how Rodgers does with no Devontae Adams. I don't think he'll be too phased by it. Obviously, he can play with anybody, but the offense might struggle a little, or they might become a much more run-heavy offense. They're already a pretty decently run-heavy, play-action offense. They're not exactly, Rodgers isn't throwing for 5,000 yards every season, but we'll see. I think that. Also, the same thing with Mahomes. I feel like we're not talking about that enough with Mahomes. Everybody was talking about Adams leaving, but he just lost Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's still got Travis Kelce, but his number one receiver is who? Juju?
MVS as well. He's there.
Brutal. I could see that working though, because he runs like a deer, MVS.
That's 100% true. I'm very interested to see how this goes. And yeah, he, like you said, he has Kelce. And they still have, I think, a pretty deep wide receiver core, but nobody is talented as Tyreek Hill, not even close. I still think Mahomes will be fine. He'll be good, but that start he got off to. How are you not scared by that?
Right. I think that this is pretty clearly set, and things don't always obviously go the way they're supposed to, but this is pretty clearly setting up to be the Bills' year. Like Josh Allen's going to win the MVP. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. Like the Chiefs took a little bit of a hit over the offseason. The Bills only got stronger, and they probably should have won that game last year if it wasn't for dumb overtime rules. But it's lining up to be the Bills' year. They have to be the most bet on team to win the Super Bowl.
They're the favorite to win the Super Bowl as of right now. They're not my team though this year.
They were your team last year.
I know, and they're not my team this year. And watch, they'll win it this year too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not even gonna have any money on them, and I'm gonna go at the team I really like this year, and they're not gonna win it. I'm like a year behind,
exactly,
or year ahead. Year ahead. I'm picking the team the year before, and they win the Super Bowl. I want to go back to this list very, very quickly. We talked about Deshaun Watson. Obviously, that is a big question mark, because if Deshaun Watson is playing and he's healthy, he's easily in the top 5.
Yeah.
Is there anybody on this list that you think is
actually? Hold on. A couple years ago, easily in the top 5, but I think there's a lot of now with the emergence of Herbert, and I think that year when Watson, his last year, I think that was that the year Allen broke out? I think that was like Allen's first breakout year, right? Like big breakout year, like stud.
Yes.
Yeah, because he broke out in his 3rd year and he's going into his 5th year now. Yeah. Okay. I don't think he's easy. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback anymore, Watson. I think he's probably 6. I'd take Herbert over Watson.
Rodgers,
Brady, Rodgers, Brady, Mahomes, Allen, and Herbert. I'd take them over Watson.
All right. So let's say Watson had the season he had in Houston in 19 last year. Is he 5, or are you still taking Herbert?
It's tough to judge, because I feel like over the past year or two, like quarterbacks are putting up these insane numbers now that I don't know how those numbers would look in, compared to the numbers around the league anymore.
I like that answer. I'm a huge Herbert guy.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. I think the Chargers are going to the Super Bowl. Spoiler alert. I'm a big Herbert guy.
Don't Blue Jays the Chargers, though, because that's like the same thing with the Blue Jays. Like, good talent. Like Vlad broke out last year, almost won the MVP. And it was like, all right, they added some more pieces. It looks like they're going to be really good this year. I don't know if the Chargers are ready to take that Super Bowl step. You might be jumping the gun a little early there.
I find teams, I find the value. I found the value with the Chargers. I might be early. I don't know. We'll see.
Don't get obsessed with the sexy pick. I think that you do that a little too much sometimes. I mean, listen, do whatever you got to do. I'm not going to tell you how to think. I'm just saying. Don't get crazy.
I think they're becoming the sexy team. Okay. I have a couple of teams, though, especially in the AFC, And we were just talking about him, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I think the Ravens are being completely overlooked.
Oh, yeah.
And
They were my Super Bowl pick last year.
Right. And you brought it up before. The media is obsessed with Joe Burrow. They're now obsessing over the Bengals, and they're forgetting about this team in their division that I think is going to win the division. I think Baltimore's going to win that division.
I think the Bengals can pretty easily not even come in second in this division this year. I think people are now just obsessed with the whole Joe Burrow, the run they went on last year. But I think there was a little bit of luck involved, which of course you need that to advance. No Super Bowl champion or AFC champion has ever gotten there with absolutely no luck. But we'll see how things fare in this year, because I don't think the Bengals necessarily improved that much. And I think that they got away with some problems with their offensive line last year. And I don't know if they're going to be able to get away with it again this year.
They're not. And they've made improvements. They've tried to make improvements. But I think the Bengals missed the playoffs. That I said that since the day the season ended. And you know me, I wasn't a big fan of the Bengals last year in Burrow. I was not.
Yeah, who was? Going into the season, who was? I mean, obviously, once they started getting
during their run, though, I was like, they're going to lose. I don't like them. I didn't want them. I thought them in the Super Bowl, and we spoke about this. I thought them in the Super Bowl was terrible. I didn't want them in there.
They still almost won it.
But I mean, matchup wise, Bengals Rams is not sexier than Chiefs Rams.
I don't think that's a crazy take, because look at the AFC. You can make a case that 10 teams in the AFC should make the playoffs. The entire AFC West are playoff contenders.
Yep.
The South sucks, but the Titans and the Colts are contenders. The entire AFC North basically is contenders.
The whole AFC North could be contenders, and we don't know how long Watson's going to be out for yet. And yeah, I mean, the Steelers still have a really good defense and a great coach.
I'd say the teams that are like, obviously every team has a shot, and I'm optimistic about my Jets. People want to call them the Bengals 2.0, but realistically, the teams that like are outside that bubble of like, they're probably not going to make the playoffs are the Jets. I think the Patriots. I mean, the team did not improve at all. I think they had a horrible offseason, and I think they're just not going to be able to catch up with the rest of the league. I think they're going to get their ass kicked a lot this year. I'd say the Jets, the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Texans, and then maybe the Steelers or the Browns. Probably the Browns, because Brissett will most likely be their quarterback all year. But 4 or 5 teams are like, they're probably not going to make the playoffs. That leaves 11 teams for 7 spots.
It's crazy. And the Dolphins, we didn't speak about the Dolphins.
Yeah,
Does Tua take that jump? And with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, does he become, a quarterback that we start to respect a little more? I'm not even going to say franchise quarterback. I'm just going to use weird terminology.
I mean, do we hate on Tua too much sometimes? Probably. But I think that, he might put up some nice numbers. They might win some games. But, if it comes to a divisional game or they're in the AFC Championship and they need Tua to make a big play for them, he's not going to do it. He's just not that kind of quarterback.
And I agree with you. He doesn't have the arm strength. He's not accurate enough to throw a deep ball. Yeah. I was such a big fan out of college. No longer a big fan.
I know you were. Can Tyreek Hill shut the hell up? He just spews out a new stupid quote every week.
What's the newest one?
What did he say? Oh, he said, talking about this Dolphins team versus like the Chiefs, like Super Bowl team, basically like the prime Chiefs team he was on. He's like, I look around, I see the same explosiveness, like the same kind of guys. Like he's basically saying we're just as good as them. It's like, bro, can you stop trying to like force this down our throats and just go play the season? Stop trying to make everybody think that you're on this juggernaut Super Bowl team like you were with the Chiefs. Saying Tua's a more accurate quarterback than Pat Mahomes. Really?
Well, why do we have to sit here and compare those two teams?
Exactly.
Because the only person that's doing that is him. Nobody looks at the Dolphins and goes, "Oh, this is the Chiefs, in the making."
Yeah. But that's the bizarre thing. You would be like, "Oh, but guys, come on. It's the media is asking him the question. They're trying to push the narrative. Oh, how's this team compared to the Chiefs?" He's saying it on his own podcast. Like nobody is asking him like, Tyreek, how does this team compare to the Chiefs? He's just purposefully going out on his podcast and being like, oh yeah, Pat Mahomes too. Just about the same. He's more accurate. But like, shut up. Just
Tyreek, literally nobody asked.
Exactly.
Nobody asked, Tyreek. Please just shut up.
Couldn't put it any better myself.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We haven't really spoke about the NFC though. I mean, we're talking about the AFC, and
my G-men the NFC. It's a joke.
My G-men are sitting over there in the NFC, going to be a sneaky playoff team. I think.
Shut up, please. Honestly, they might have a chance because the NFC sucks.
The schedule is terrible. The schedule is very easy, and the NFC sucks. I don't think they're going to make it. I think they'll be close though. One quarterback in the NFC. We were talking about Dak. To start, we went through the top 10. But there's another quarterback in the NFC East that is getting a lot of attention lately, and that's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
is Jalen Hurts gonna? Is Jalen what?
A lot of people are picking him for MVP. That's like a popular bet.
That's the most popular bet. There's like 2 times the amount of bets on Jalen Hurts to win MVP, more than Aaron Rodgers, which is kind of crazy, but whatever. So there was this report from this guy. I don't even know what he is. I don't know if he's a podcaster, if he's an actual reporter, whatever. He says he was at Eagles practice the other day. Okay. This is over the weekend. And he says Jalen Hurts looked terrible. He got sacked 3 times. He threw 3 interceptions. He had 3 completions out of 10 passes. Okay. Or 11, whatever the number adds up to. And he said, just looked awful. So this ended up being kind of like a fake report. AJ Brown was like, bruh, how do you get sacked 3 times in a 7-on-7 drill? And everybody disputed the report or whatever. So I don't know if this was just a troll, but either way, that was, that got a lot of attention over the weekend. And now we sit here, the Eagles, who have a very good roster. They loaded up. They added AJ Brown. They have a great offensive line. They have a solid defense. The Eagles can be scary in the NFC if Jalen Hurts takes that next step.
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of teams are just going to stack the box and be like, okay, Jalen, beat us with your arm. We're not going to let you beat us with your legs. The Eagles were the best rushing team in the NFL last year. And, he's set up for success. He's got the best offensive line in football, just about. He's got a number 1 receiver in AJ Brown and now a second-year Devontae Smith, who's, supposed to be a stud. And he's got, I was about to say, and he's got Miles Sanders, but that's, no. Mid Miles Sanders.
He doesn't score touchdowns, Miles Sanders. Did you say he says don't draft me in fantasy? That's what he said.
I wasn't going to, so good. Dallas Goedert. There's your other stud on offense. But listen, we laugh. I made a little eye roll about the Jalen Hurts MVP stuff, but I actually think Jalen Hurts has some potential. Watching him last year, he seems like a pretty poised quarterback, and he's athletic, and he can, make plays with his feet, and he's got a decent arm. But, you never know. We'll see what happens. It depends how the Eagles, how they set him up for success. That's 50% of how a quarterback is successful. Why do you think Josh Allen broke out so well? They put him in a consistent situation with good people around him, and that's where his talent could thrive. So I think Jalen Hurts is a talented quarterback if they put him in the right spot. I don't know about MVP, but he could certainly have a nice year.
Are you sniffing football? Can you smell it? Can you smell football?
And I'm sniffing it a little earlier than usual because I usually.
Well, your baseball team's playing meaningless games in July. I mean, come on. The division's locked up.
I think it's the All-Star break coming up. And then I started thinking about fantasy football, and now all of a sudden, boom. Then Zach Wilson's out here banging everybody's mom, and I'm ready.
Now we have a topic sheet, and I didn't write this topic down. And I think we should talk about it. And we're gonna open it up with baseball when we come back. But I can never get enough of Derek Jeter and A-Rod beef. So when we come back, Derek Jeter and A-Rod, 2022, we still got beef. But when we come back, we'll talk about that. All right, we are back. Episode 69 of the Hardline Sports Talk. Michael Merlo and John Michael Masiri with you. All right, let's talk some baseball, and we're doing a throwback here. We're throwing it back to 20 years ago, I guess, and 15, 20 years ago. What's so funny over there?
Throwing it back.
What? Throwing it back on episode 69. That's right. We're throwing it back.
All
just
right.
like somebody's mom and Zach Wilson.
No.
All right. Sorry. So Derek Jeter's big time documentary, 7-part documentary on ESPN is coming out, and ESPN, listen, we could hate on them all they want. They do fantastic jobs with these 30 for 30s and these documentaries. So I'm expecting this Jeter documentary, which is called The Captain, 7-part series. I think it's going to be unbelievable, and I'm very excited to watch it. I'm not even a Yankee fan.
Yeah, I mean, if it's anything like their Sunday Night Baseball broadcast, we're in trouble. But I think it'll be very, very good. I mean, this is, The Last Dance was amazing. So, if this is anything like that, that would be great. And yeah, we'll see. I'm really excited about it. I think a lot of people are, because similar to the Michael Jordan thing, Jeter was, he wasn't a super outspoken guy. And, he's obviously extremely successful, part of that incredible Yankees dynasty. And, we never really got a lot of inside information, and, you don't get the access like you do today with sports. So being able to get that behind the scenes and see what he thought of some controversies, or even just some of his success stories, it's going to be really cool.
Well, yeah, exactly. When you have a guy that was very closed off and you don't know much about, to really, dig deep into his career, it'll be very interesting. Quick side note. Do you think, I thought The Last Dance was great, but it was probably slightly overrated, right? Considering that we didn't have sports at the time. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were starving for anything.
It was really good.
It was.
But
I agree. I mean, it wasn't a 10 out of 10. It was very good, but it wasn't like, holy crap, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
Exactly. All right.
I think it was a combination of a lot of things. Obviously, like I just said, like Jordan was, this was 30 years ago, 40 years ago, whatever. We didn't really know as much about these Bulls teams in depth as we do, after this. We didn't get the access. There was no Twitter. Like, we didn't know what the hell was going on. So that was cool. And we were starving for anything sports related.
And we got it. During COVID, we had nothing. Okay. So Derek Jeter claims that his beef with A-Rod started in 2001. He said he was not a true friend when when Alex Rodriguez made some remarks about Jeter and the Esquire in an interview in 2001. I'm guessing it's a paper.
Yes.
So A-Rod basically said that he was blessed to play for an absolutely stacked New York Yankees team. He said he never had to lead. Rodriguez said he doesn't have to lead. He can just go out and play, have fun, hit second. Then he continued, I mean, you go hit. I'm sorry, I can't read the way they quoted him.
Reading. Everybody's
the way
sit tight.
The way they quoted him, it was not well. So this is what A-Rod said in the article. He said, I mean, hitting second is totally different than hitting third or fourth in a lineup, because you go into New York trying to stop Bernie Williams and Paul O'Neill and everybody. You never say, don't let Derek Jeter beat you. That's never your concern.
I mean, are we surprised? Like, oh yeah. What was the one thing you remember about Alex Rodriguez's career? He's a real stand-up guy. Always said the right thing. Never got himself in trouble. Real humble guy. No, none of that. This is not a surprise at all out of A-Rod. And
A-Rod and Jeter were friends though before they got to New York.
Right,
they were buddy.
Yeah. There's actually I watched that SB Nation video about the beef history with them is fantastic. I need to rewatch it to refresh my memory of all the problems that they had. But yeah, A-Rod just constantly making these stupid comments, and we're finally going to get a chance to see what Jeter thought about it. But this is not a surprise at all.
It's not a surprise.
I mean, they're grown men now. They were grown men then, but they're, in their 40s now. I still don't think their relationship is that great. I think once, they'll be nice to each other. They'll say nice things about each other in the media, but they're not friends. They're not spending, weekend, they're not going to a restaurant together, getting dinner. They're not like that.
Well, I think it's interesting. A-Rod's in the documentary.
Yeah.
So I think that's very interesting. And Jeter saying, he claimed he was not a true friend. Jeter says, I'm very, very loyal. As a friend, I'm loyal. I just look at it as that. I wouldn't have done it.
Right. I think A-Rod probably asked to be in the documentary before they asked him to be in.
You think so?
Knowing A-Rod, yeah.
Well, ESPN loves A-Rod.
I was just about to say, going back to that Sunday night baseball thing, that K-Rod is just, it is brutal. I can't watch it. It's so bad.
You know what the problem is? And me and you listen to the Michael K show, and I enjoy Michael K. I think he's funny.
Yeah.
When he's doing his radio show. The problem is you can't do an alternate broadcast for baseball because what the hell are you going to talk about?
Exactly.
Because it's not like football where you have the Manning cast and there's a different view on things and you could talk about different things. You're already breaking down the game as a color analyst in a regular baseball game. So what are you going to do? Like what are you adding?
Right.
What are you,
in baseball, sure, they could maybe open up some things to you about, defensive positioning and pitch types, maybe little stuff like that. But in football, like you were just saying, like, seeing Peyton Manning talk about beating a cover 4 defense in the middle of a game is pretty cool. You could really go in depth. There's a lot of things that football fans don't know about football. Football is extremely complicated.
And by the way, I'm a Mets fan and I'm blessed that we get to listen to Gary, Keith, and Ron every game during the summer. Keith Hernandez and Ron Darling are breaking these things down. Like it's A-Rod and Michael K are not adding anything different.
A-Rod just likes to talk about himself.
Yeah. And by the way, the regular broadcast isn't any better either. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's not great.
Carl Ravitch is not that great. I don't mind Eduardo Perez. I don't think he's amazing, but he's not a problem. And Cone, I like Cone. I think he's really good on the Yankee broadcast. I don't know how I feel about him on the national one though.
Yeah. The production isn't even good either though. Like they were having problems. Like they switched to a camera. It was zoomed in on like a patch of grass when they were trying to show who was at the plate. I was like, what the hell's going on? And then you saw them trying to adjust, scrambling. Hold on, that's not the right camera. And it's like, all right, people can slip up, but like, I don't see that on Yes Network.
They don't care about baseball. That's the problem. ESPN doesn't care about baseball. That's the main thing. By the way, before we talk about things going on right now, July 27th is the second game of the Subway Series, the first series at Citi Field. And they announced today or yesterday, Tuesday or Wednesday, I forgot. They are that game is exclusively on ESPN now. So that was a an SNY game, no more. They stole it a Wednesday night and it's now on ESPN. So great for us. I'm really excited for that.
Are you or
that was very
I sense some sarcasm right there.
Very
Michael.
Sarcastic.
Yes. I agree.
All right. Let's talk about some things going on right now. The New York Mets are currently playing their second game of their 3-game set in Atlanta. This is the second time they're meeting this season. They met in May for a 4-game series. Now they split that one, and now the Braves are about to even up the series. The Braves are about to be a game and a half out of first place again. This is a tight race, Jam.
It's tight, and it's only going to get tighter. Pause. If you want me to be brutally honest with you, I think the Braves in the end come away with the division. We'll see how it plays out, but I just think they're too talented. I mean, especially like you look at the year Dansby Swanson's having right now. Acuna hasn't even come into full form yet. Travis d'Arnaud is an all-star. Olsen could pick it up a little. You got guys, Ozzie Albies is going to come back. You got guys emerging now. I didn't even mention Austin Riley. He's having a fantastic season. And now in the rotation, Max Fried is exactly what we thought he was going to be. And this Spencer Strider, dog. I mean, the guy's nasty.
He went 4 2/3 tonight. He struck out 8 or 9 guys, but he's got nasty stuff. If he can, not run that pitch count so high and go longer in the games, he's legit. He's right. Very, very good. Like you said, Fried, Cy Young picks. Chance he wins
still
it.
A chance. I will say this. I think the Mets have a extremely good chance to win this division in perspective. You know, it's about 50-50. But if they don't, they're the team that needs to improve more at the deadline. I know the Braves are behind them in the standings, but Braves got off to a slow start. They got the best record in baseball just about, I think, over their past like 35 games or something like that.
Yeah,
and,
since June.
You know, the Mets, people will say, well, that doesn't really make a lot of sense because you got DeGrom coming back. He hasn't played yet. But you could say it yourself. I think we're starting to see some flaws in the Mets, especially in their lineup. I think that they need to go out and add a bat, an impact bat at the deadline. And I think the bullpen needs to be addressed. So,
well, Sandy Alderson made a comment today, 2 comments today actually on a podcast I was listening to, and he had said if you take and I've never heard him, and maybe it's because he's in a new position, he's president, he's not GM. I've never heard him attack a position the way he attacked it. He said, take Alonso out of, you know, whenever he DHs, take his numbers out of that. If you take all the DHs numbers, they have a 555 OPS out of their DH spot. Eduardo Escobar has been a problem at third base. And they get nothing out of catcher, which is fine if you have your third baseman and your DH hitting, you know, don't even give me above average. Give me average. Give me a 750 OPS out of those spots. Yeah. And you're in a much different position. So I agree with you. The Mets need a legit designated hitter. They could even use another bench bat. And, you know, I was just telling you before, I think David Robertson's going to be a Met in a few weeks.
Possibly a catcher?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think they're going to.
You don't think they really say, hey, we want David Robertson and Wilson Contreras?
You wanna trade Francisco Alvarez for a rental?
No.
Okay. It's probably what it would cost. Listen, if you could get it for anything, I think if you could get anything less for Brett Beatty or Francisco Alvarez, do it. Or Matthew Allen, sorry, is another pitching prospect. One of their only top pitching prospects. If you could do it without those 3 guys, do it.
I don't know. I feel like anybody but Alvarez. If you could get David Robertson and Contreras in a year where you really want to go for it, then why not?
You know, there's been a lot of negativity around the Mets the past month and 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah. And the reason is they went 500, went a game above 500 in June. And they've played, you know, I think a little bit over 500 in July, whatever. They played a very difficult schedule in June. I would have signed up for 500. They are getting this negative attention, A, because the Yankees don't lose across town, and B, the main reason is because the Atlanta Braves went on an incredible run in June and July and are now, you know, a game and a half back. That's the reason why. Yeah. But take the Braves out of it for a second. Let me ask you, if I told you on July 13th, the New York Mets would be 20 games over 500 and in first place without Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer for 2 months, you would have said, holy crap, how'd they do that?
It's a 10 out of 10. It's literally a 10 out of 10, of course. Yeah. And the same thing would happen with the Yankees. You know, you saw what happened over the weekend. They blow the last 2 games against Boston, split the series. They got a 14-game lead. There was still some negativity. So now imagine that even the division, you know, they're tied for first, the Yankees and the Red Sox. It would be a huge deal, a lot of negativity. So you're right. It's just a circumstantial thing. The Mets are doing a fantastic job with the situation that they're in. I think, you know, they've built a very nice roster, obviously. And some guys still aren't even performing. Can you imagine if the Mets were, let's say, hovering around 500? Let's say the Mets were in the Phillies position right now.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine the negativity there would be around Buck Showalter? And I think the biggest story of them all right now would be, holy crap, look at our $340 million shortstop. And then look across into the American League. Andres Jimenez is on the all-star roster having a better season than Lindor. But guess what? Winning makes that stuff go away. So the Mets are in a good spot. Yeah, some things didn't go perfect for them. Should they have, you know, if they could go back, it's still too early, obviously. If you go back and undo that trade, they're probably still saying no, you know, to undo it. because who the hell knows how Jimenez is going to end up, and Lindor could still, return to his old form. That's something I hate to bounce around. That's something I wanted to talk to you about off air, on air, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I kind of think this is Lindor.
Yeah. I think
I don't think it's getting much better than this.
You know, it's funny. I remember when they made the trade and people were like, well, what is he? Is he 2020 Lindor? Is he that guy that he was in the second half of 2019, which was 2020 Lindor around a 750 OPS?
Right.
Probably is. Right? That's probably
he has
him.
not had a great offensive season since 2019. And you look
at he's having a solid season.
Yeah. He's in a slightly above average offensive shortstop, and he's a great defender. So yeah, he's still a valuable player. He's not $34 million a year, but it's not like he's a detriment to the team right now. But I just want to run some numbers by it. He's got his career OPS plus 115. His OPS plus this year 112.
Rob, I was literally about to say that because I'm on his baseball reference page.
Yeah. And I think that he was a little overrated coming in to the Mets, because remember when they traded for him? And I remember hearing from so many Met fans, oh, Lindor's top 10 player in baseball. I'm like, whoa, where the hell did that come from? Maybe like peak 2018, 2017, maybe he was a top player in baseball because his defense was so good and he hit 38 homers and had an 850 OPS. But the guy is not, going into his Mets career was not a top 10 player in baseball. No team was going up against Francisco Lindor and fearing him the way they fear the Mike Trouts of the world and the Juan Sotos and guys like that. It's not the same thing.
No, not at all. And listen, when they signed him to that contract, I was like, yes, thank God they locked him up, because I didn't want to deal with it all season long. Oh my God, is he going to come back? Does he like it here? I didn't want to deal with that. So I was happy when they signed him. But at the end of the day, it was the wrong move because you bid against yourself.
Right.
And they
didn't
gave
have
him
to do it.
so much more money than he probably would have gotten in the open market. I remember the first offer they made to him was 10 years, $280 million. That's what they thought he was worth, $28 million a year. They ended up going 6 more. Listen, it's not my money.
That was Steve Cohen. First time, first offseason with the Mets, just bought the team, wanted to prove to everybody that he's got the money and, he's willing to spend it, unlike the previous owners. And it obviously got Mets fans very excited. But looking back, was that the most responsible move at the time? No.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm looking at these. There were a couple of pitches that I was freaking out about while we were about to go on before, when Matt Olson when Peterson gave up the go-ahead 2-run shot to Olson.
Yeah.
There were 2 strikeout calls missed on the batter before, and I'm looking at it now, just absolutely brutal.
Marseille with me.
You know what though? It's baseball. It's baseball.
That's baseball. Yeah. Woo.
That's baseball.
More random BS. That's baseball. So if the Mets are in the World Series, Game 7, 3-2 count, tying run on third base, boom. Umpire punches out Pete Alonso on a ball 6 inches off the plate. You go, that's baseball.
That's baseball. That's baseball, Susan. So the Mets, they lose this game. I'll have quick turnaround. They'll play 12-20 tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. Listen, the Mets going to add bullpen pieces. They're going to add a bat. You talk about the Braves. You said it before. The hell do the Braves need to add? A bench piece, another arm in the bullpen, maybe. They don't need anything. That's the scary part. They don't need anything right now.
I mean, Michael,
an injury.
Think about it. They traded away Pache, however the hell you say his name. He's been one of the worst players offensive players in baseball. He's horrible for the A's. And they get Matt Olson in that deal. And then, hey, guess what? We need a center fielder. Let's call up this Michael Harris kid who looks like he's a stud. I mean, things are nice in Atlanta.
Yeah, no, they're an unbelievable organization as well. They just pump out really, really good players, and their development's been great. And they traded, like you said, they traded Pache. They traded this kid Walters.
Yeah,
He was a top prospect as well. Yeah, for a draft pick.
Didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know you could do that in baseball.
It's apparently, those draft picks they give you as like compensation.
Yeah.
You could trade those. You can't trade like actual picks.
So they traded for the pick. So then what was that? Who did the Royals lose in the offseason that got a compensation pick for? Soler, they traded.
No, they lost Soler. Soler signed. Oh,
No,
no,
I'm saying they traded him to the Braves
yes.
last year.
Yes. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I don't know.
No, I think you're right because I think it's like the 35th pick and it's a first round pick.
I know for a fact it's the 35th pick.
So it's a compensation pick, but
yeah. That's I'm gonna find it right now. Hold on.
Rays beat the Red Sox. Aaron Hicks has a right shin contusion. Doesn't sound good.
He's fine. Just put some ice on. He's good.
As he's like turning his season around, of course. This happens.
He's fine. He'll play tomorrow. Yeah, Drew Waters. It was for the 35th pick.
Look at baseball.
The 35th pick was tradable because it's a competitive balance round pick.
Okay.
Given annually to small market teams and low revenue teams.
Yeah.
L.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just spend some money. Okay. Speaking of spending money, the Yankees and the Red Sox spend a ton of money, and they played over the weekend. And you were kind of touching on it before. The Yankees started off the series very well. They took the first two. It looked like they were going to walk through there and sweep them, or at least take 3 out of 4. And they did not. They lose the last two. What was your thoughts on the weekend?
Honestly, not much. I mean, we saw them collapse both games, especially the Sunday night game that they really fell apart. Brought Chapman in. Tyone pitched like crap. They brought Chapman in. He didn't pitch well. Then they brought Castro in. He didn't pitch well. I mean, yeah, this is a good Red Sox team. Obviously, on the road, it's always a playoff type environment in Boston, for Yankees, Red Sox. So I think it's still a positive, the series, or at least neutral. I don't think the series can be looked at as a negative. There's still things to iron out, and it shows that this team isn't perfect, and they're not gonna just walk through and make it to the World Series. But I still think playoff series against this team, against Boston, our best against their best. I'm not too concerned as much as I would be going up against the Astros. I'm not too thrown off from the series.
You shouldn't be. Again, playing meaningless games in July must be nice when you have the division wrapped up. The one thing I think should be kind of like on Yankee fans' mind, and this could be like, first world problems, I guess, but for that 1 seed, you don't want to lose that 1 seed. You want that home field advantage, against the Stros. That's really the only thing, win-loss wise, Yankee fans should be keeping an eye on.
I think the biggest concern coming from this series is just Garrett Cole's ability to pitch against the Red Sox.
It's unbelievable.
If it comes to if we're in a series against them in the playoffs and it's win or go home and Garrett Cole's on the mound, then I'm a little concerned because Rafael Devers has his number, and he pitched against them in the wild card last year. Bogarts took him deep. He didn't pitch very well. Devers has his number, like I said.
At home this year, he didn't pitch well against them.
He doesn't have a great track record, and that's Cole just went out tonight against the Reds, 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 11 strikeouts. Like, the guy's obviously a fantastic pitcher, but you want to see him, have more of those games against good lineups. Obviously, their good lineups are going to do a little bit more damage. That's just how the game is. But I'm waiting for one of those Cole versus the Astros last year starts. The guy, he threw a complete game shutout. That was fantastic. I'd like to see one of those starts. He pitched well against the Rays, but the Rays are kind of starting to, be like,
they really aren't good offense. They really
suck.
are not good offensively.
No, they just beat the Red Sox, like I said, but they're coming off a series sweep. They got swept from the Cincinnati Reds.
Yes, they did. Mm-hmm. Which is that was funny.
You gonna shut the ringer off? Holy crap!
I don't know why. I'm like
the Apple Store in there.
I know. I don't want to hit the mute button. It's been on the whole time. I don't want to hit the mute button and then I don't hear you and then I lose you for like 10 seconds.
I don't think
that's my biggest problem.
Wait, so is that coming from the computer or from your phone?
computer.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't think I've had my ringer on my phone in like 5 years.
When I'm expecting a call, I put it on. But like, other than that, I don't put it on. Anyway, do you think the Yankees need another starter? I mean, listen, Tyone.
Yeah, probably.
Tyone has not looked good. I think an 8.57 ERA in his last 4 starts. I would agree with you, but I don't think they need a Luis Castillo. And by the way, I don't think they're getting a Luis Castillo because he's going to go for a lot. And I don't think the Yankees are going to be willing to pay the price prospect-wise for that.
Yeah, no, I don't think they need to go out and get a Luis Castillo. I think if they just get a bottom of the rotation guy to, provide a safety net, add some depth. Maybe Matt Blake could work his magic, turn him, into a better starter than he already is, whoever they do get. I don't think that's a terrible idea, but we'll see if it's even necessary because now you have Domingo Germán coming back. So we'll see how he looks.
That's right. Oh, wow. I forgot about him. Holy crap.
Yeah, everybody did, honestly.
Domingo Germán. How's Luis Heal's out for the year? And who's the other one? Devi Garcia.
He's
been terrible, right?
Yeah, he's horrible.
Yeah, he's done, right? But for the most part,
I mean, not done, but it's not looking good.
Not looking good. Yeah. Anything else in Yankee land? I keep seeing Andrew Benintendi. I know that's your favorite player of all time, non-Yankee and non-Freddie Freeman. How are we feeling about the possibility of this? Is all I see when it comes to trade talks. Andrew Benintendi on the New York Yankees, August 2nd. Get it done, Yankees.
I don't hate it. Just, especially now we'll see what happens with Hicks. Gallo, I really don't think is going to be on this team come playoff time. Could be wrong. But what the hell are you kicking back?
Yeah, now I'm kicking back. I hold the microphone a little bit in my hand.
Okay.
See the tan lines? You see if my feet are up. You see how bad the tan lines are?
Yeah, tan line's bad.
No, look.
Holy crap.
Oh my God.
You look
That's crazy.
Jesus, you look like a black and white cookie.
My arms and my face, though, are so dark, and it looks so nice.
Oh, my God. You got to just roll the sleeves up.
Or maybe I'll just take the shirt off at work.
Yeah, there you go. I'll give everybody
that might not be good,
show.
though. There's a camp there, and it probably wouldn't go over well.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, never mind. Take that. Keep that shirt on.
Benintendi.
But yeah, Benintendi.
Get it done.
I think, he even if he isn't a starting outfielder come playoff time with the death lineup and whatever the hell they put out there, it's not a bad idea to have a fourth outfielder like him. Not at all.
I don't think you're trading for him as the idea of a fourth outfielder.
You think he's an everyday player?
Who would your outfield be? What's your death lineup?
If it's game 1 of the ALDS or whatever, I think they put out Judge in center, Stanton in left or right, and then either Hicks or now they're playing Carpenter in right field. And I mean, if he continues to hit this way the whole season, you can't not put Carpenter in the lineup game 1.
I think it's Benintendi.
I think the Yankees should be looking more. I don't know who's out there, but they should be looking more at replacing IKF. I think Oswald Peraza could be a nice option to call him up, see how he does. He's a big prospect for them. He's ready. He's in AAA. It's not like, this is like a reach to pull him up. Volpe would be a reach. He's going to come up next year or the year after, probably next year. Yeah, I mean, IKF his defense has not been great. He has 0 power. The guy's had no homers, and he's got he's a below average offensive shortstop. So why not look to replace him?
And offensively, with shortstop to be below average, you have to be pretty bad. Right. Shortstop has not been a great position offensively this season. Yeah, I agree with you. And I've had Yankee fans actually argue with me. I'm like, IKF sucks. And they're like, no, he doesn't. I'm like, yes, he does. Yeah. Just because he's batting 270. Yes, okay. That's pretty good. Doesn't matter.
All right, let me ask you a question, because I talk to the same people or hear the same things that you do about, he makes contact and this and that. Yes, he makes contact, and I don't want a bunch of Joey Gallo's swinger, 3 true outcomes, home run or nothing guys in my lineup. I don't want to have to bank on the home run all the time. But when has IKF come up in a big spot and gotten that big hit to drive in a couple runs in a tie game or whatever. It doesn't happen. Yeah, he'll move a runner over, or he'll hit a nice little single, get himself on base, but he's not making a big impact offensively at all.
No.
So where are we getting this from?
No, you're not. And it's just
he's
some people don't.
314.
It's a problem. And by the way, let's say the Yankees, and the Yankees have a great lineup, but let's say the Yankees lineup 1 through 8 was just torrid. I mean, you were not worried about anybody in the lineup every day, right?
Yeah.
IKF's fine batting ninth, whatever.
Yeah.
Speed, moves guys over, 270 batting average. I don't care. Fine. But right now, I know Hicks is heating up, so I'm not even going to throw Hicks in there. But when you have, a lineup that has Joey Gallo possibly in there, and Donaldson was struggling a little bit. He's looked better the past few days, though. He was on a hate list, and he just immediately flipped off of that hate list. It was crazy.
Yeah.
With the Yankee fans, he had a nice weekend.
It's amazing what playing well will do for you.
Right. And the catching situation, when Higashiyoka's in there, you can't really have a guy like IKF at the bottom there when you have already a couple of outs.
No, you can't. And like I said, if he was a defensive wizard, then you can put up with it. But his defense has not been good.
Yes, 100%. The defense, and I've heard that defense matters. My defense does matter. He's not a good defender at shortstop.
It's the most important defensive position on the field.
Well, crazy people. All right, we've got the All-Star game coming up, JM, and that is a week from, what is it, the 19th, July 19th.
A week from the All-Star game is a week. Yeah, the All-Star game is the 19th. The Derby, which is I think what I and most people look most forward to, is the 18th.
Yes, it is. You want to start with the Derby? Let's start with the Derby.
Oh, the Derby. Let's go chronological order.
All right. So the Derby is Monday the 18th. We've already got 5 contestants. We've got Albert Pujols of the Cardinals, which you listen, they already threw him in the All-Star game, but Rob Manfred said, no, we need to give him another thing. So let's put him in the home run derby.
Put a senior citizen in the home run derby.
So, all right, Pujols is in there. Whoop-de-doo. We've got Ronald Acuna Jr. He's going to be in it. Very exciting. Kyle Schwarber is in it, and he leads the NL in home runs. He's at 28. He went on a torrid stretch in June. He's continuing in it in July. You also have Juan Soto, who had a nice derby last year. He's in it. I forget who beat him, but he went on a crazy tear last year.
Salvador Perez?
That's who knocked him out.
Maybe.
I might be right. It might be Salvi. Because when we were watching it, I was like, I do not want Pete to have to face Soto. I think Soto will probably win. And then he lost. Right. And the last guy is Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso is going for 3 straight, the first player to ever win 3 straight in home run derby.
3 more spots, and I'm praying that Stanton takes one of them because he flirted with it and it makes sense. I mean, he's a West Coast guy. Remember, that was like a big thing that he was going to be a Dodger when the Marlins were talking about trading him.
I remember they had a trade for the Giants done.
Yeah.
He declined.
That was the Cardinals. Or was it the Giants?
Oh, was it the Cardinals?
I think so.
It was one of those 2 teams.
Yeah. But I really hope he does it. I mean, this is already. Did you say you said Schwarber?
Yeah, it's a really great field.
It's a really nice field. It's Pujols. Just get Pujols out. Like, why is Pujols in it? I love Albert Pujols. He's had a great career, but like, I don't want to see a 40-year-old man who can barely jog around the bases without, going into cardiac arrest.
Wow.
Playing the home run derby. Watch, he'll hit like 30 bombs first round.
First round, he'll go off. He'll prove everybody wrong. He'll beat Pete in the first round, and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see Stanton in there. I'm trying to think of who else I'd want to see. Shohei was terrible last season.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't want to see him again.
I want to, who I saw? I saw someone mention on Twitter, Buxton would be kind of cool. Right?
Yeah, I would enjoy seeing Byron Buxton.
Who else? He's got a lot of pop.
I mean, if Alvarez wasn't hurt, I'd love to see Jordan.
Alvarez.
But he's got the hand injury.
Austin Riley.
He's not in the home run derby. I mean, the All-Star game, and that is like, it's actually comical.
Yeah.
The kind of year that guy's having. Holy crap, is he good?
Oh my God. Talk about wish a guy was healthy. I would die to see Bryce Harper in the home run derby. You might say no because you're a little angry Mets fan, but that would be sick.
We've seen Bryce Harper in the home run derby.
No, I know, but it's been a little while.
Yeah, he's good. Bryce is good. He could keep it. We already got enough Phillies in there. It's disgusting already.
Aw.
Who else would you want to see? I'm trying to think of names. I'd like to see Judge again, but whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Maybe Devers if Cole was pitching him. That'd be cool.
Yes. Tatis hurt.
He can't. He's hurt.
Has he done it? He'll never do it because he'll like pop his shoulder out.
He'll find a way to hurt himself.
Yeah.
It'll be in a stupid way.
Vlad was in it last year or 2 years ago.
Vlad was in it. He was bad.
Yeah.
Stamina,
Yeah. Fat ass.
I'm a big guy. I could say that.
Oh, okay. I got a little question for you.
Oh, God.
Do you think that Vladimir Guerrero will because you look at the year he's having right now, and I know, he had a fantastic year last year and you see the raw talent, but do you think he will eventually go down the career path of being a Miguel Cabrera, Albert Pujols type, where he's just consistently like an MVP candidate, insane hitter? Or do you think he'll have his little ups and downs, a little more inconsistency over his career?
Can I get back to you in 2 seconds?
Sure.
I just want to check something really quickly. It's a very good question. I mean, Pujols came into the league and just dominated at 21 years old. He was
really like 30 probably.
We really don't know how old he was.
Yeah.
How old is he now then? If he's they say he's 42 now.
I think he's about like 68.
Yeah. Crazy.
No, he looks 50. He's got to be 50.
So, I mean, I guess when you're talking about a first ballot Hall of Famer, both of these guys are first ballot Hall of Famers. Yeah, I could see it. Maybe more on the level of Cabrera, because I would put Pujols ahead of Cabrera.
Okay.
I think.
Okay. Yeah. No.
I think
it's the same thing. Just like, we saw with Bryce Harper early in his career, we saw the talent, and he was a little up and down. He had his MVP year, then he had a down year. He was, that, and now he just consistently puts up these gigantic numbers. I think it's going to be like the same thing.
That's a better comparison.
Yeah.
That's a better comparison. Right. Because Harper had the MVP season.
Yeah.
Then it was like, oh, what is he? And then he just turned it on. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. Vlad's an ultra talented player. He's still having a really good season. He's got an 830 OPS.
Yeah.
He's an all-star level player. He probably shouldn't be starting in the game, but he's an all-star level player.
Him and Bichette are like just having years, and it reflects in the standings.
Did Bichette get in or no?
No.
Okay, good. Because he was, up for the final vote.
Neither did Espinal.
Right, good. Because even Tim Anderson should not be starting this game. It should be Xander Bogaerts. Please.
Yeah, no, IKF.
Oh, yeah, IKF. First time.
Oh my God.
I've been working
the whole way.
I've been working out in them too. And yesterday I was on the elliptical and it fell out. Okay. It fell out. And I had to get up and go get it. It was a pain in the ass. Mm-hmm. Anyway, any snubs? We kind of talked about the snubs. Ty France, definitely an all-star snub.
You know who's a big snub?
No.
Zach Wheeler.
Let me see.
Look at his numbers. He's having a better year than he had last year. I was shocked.
Zachary, 2.46 ERA, 95 innings pitched, 165 ERA plus. Yeah, this
how many strikeouts?
Be 104. Yeah, he should probably be a all-star, probably most likely.
I guess the NL is just that stacked with pitching. But Luis Castillo shouldn't be in. I think Drury should have probably been the representative for them. And then, let Zach Wheeler in.
What about Rodon finally got in?
Yeah, thank God.
I think he was he more deserving than Wheeler?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Rodon's having a fantastic season.
You see Rodon's wife going off on Twitter?
Yeah, she flipped out on Twitter.
She was talking about war and all this stuff. I was like, damn, I gotta find me a woman like this.
She said, dude has the highest war in the NL or something like that.
Yeah.
WTF. That's what she said. If you don't know what that means, it stands for what the F.
What does the F stand for?
I'm not going to say it. It's inappropriate.
Oh, okay.
No, I won't curse.
That's okay.
Is now, everybody tries to, they want to make things better. They want to improve things. Is there anything you'd improve to the All-Star game festivities? The little break we have here.
I mean, nothing's perfect. I'm sure there could be little tweaks here and there, but I think the MLB compared to all the other sports has it down the best. Maybe you could make the All-Star game a little different, the significance, get guys to, they've tried different things though, to get guys to play a little harder or whatever, but I think the home run derby is the greatest All-Star weekend festivity of all the big four sports.
Agreed.
Especially you look at the NBA, nobody cares about the dunk contest anymore. It used to be a gigantic thing. People honestly at this point probably watch the 3-point contest more than the dunk contest. Dunk contest is horrible.
More stars are doing the 3-point contest.
Exactly. The MLB has their best players in the besides Albert Pujols, but their best players in the home run derby. So
biggest names.
I think it's great. I think they do a great job with the hats and the jerseys and all that stuff. I really like the jerseys. I know you're not a big fan for some reason of these jerseys. I think they're beautiful, especially
I think the jerseys are fine. I like the jerseys. My problem is I think they should all wear their own jersey.
That is true. I like
put a patch, you put a patch, even put the same hat on them. Fine, the same style hat. I like because I'm a big hat guy. So you want to make a hat that they have to wear, fine. But put them in their regular jersey. It looks cool. It looks better. That's all. Have them wear the same because they're not on the same team. And it's cool to see, a guy on the Angels and the Yankees playing on the same team for the day.
I get it. And I like the jerseys, wearing the regular jerseys, but I also understand it from a money standpoint. I don't think it's a gigantic deal.
It makes me mad. You can still sell the jerseys. You're going to sell the hats. You're going to sell the batting practice hats. You're going to sell the home run derby hats. You're going to sell everything.
We have unlimited money.
Yeah, I'll buy it. I'll buy everything. I don't care. I'm probably going to buy the All-Star game hat.
I actually want to buy a jersey, even though it's going to be expensive.
I'm not buying the jersey.
Come on.
It's not, no, I don't need the jersey. I need another Mets jersey, like regular jersey, or like a throwback jersey.
How hot would a Nestor Cortez All-Star jersey be?
Get a Jose Trevino.
I do think if I do buy an All-Star jersey, I think it'll probably be Stanton, just because he's probably my favorite player besides Judge. So.
Oh, and he's the least deserving out of all the Yankees to make to start in the All-Star game.
Definitely not that. Have you seen the AL outfielders?
It was Springer,
Buxton, maybe
Oh, I would have put Buxton in.
No. Stop it.
Come on. We're going to compare this now before we wrap up here. Byron Buxton.
I mean, we can take this off the air. I could, beat the shit out of you.
845 OPS, 139 OPS plus, 23 home runs.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You're right, Merlo. Byron Buxton and his 295 on base percentage should be in the All-Star game.
He's 5.
Idiot.
30 slugging says differently. 831. It's really close.
Yeah, ratio. Yeah.
It's really close.
Yeah.
Buxton plays better center field, though. All right.
Stanton doesn't even play center field. All right.
Better outfield than him. All right. That's going to do it. I want to see Buxton. He's on the fantasy team. Come on. Oh, I almost knocked the mic over. All right. That's going to do it for this week. You got anything to say?
AirPods falling. Mic's going to drop. No, I'm good. Good episode. We made it to 69. Here's to the next 69.
Here's to the next 69 and to 70 next time. We'll talk to you then.